in whatever part of the world you're watching from. Sorry I haven't been around for a while. I've actually been doing a few things, or life took hold of a few things at the moment, so went to a wedding, etc. So I had a good time. Okay, let's move on. Lots to go through. A couple of things to acknowledge first on my site. Religion. Please don't preach on my thing. I'll take you off if you start preaching. Although I allow everyone to have their religious views, don't preach. And also, for anyone who wants to denigrate people for their religion, they'll be banned off my site as well. And lastly, don't swear. If you want to use swear words, and if you've got a stupid name for your moniker for your site, I'll just cut you straight away. If you're wondering why you can't see yourself, it's probably because you've been banned. Okay. Also, I'm having lots of problems with my internet, and more than is normal. And I've also realised recently that I was hacked. So if you're getting information from me, I've only been on the site once, maybe twice in the last couple of weeks. So if you've ever received anything from me, you should know how I speak and what I say to everyone, salutations, etc. So if it wasn't me, you pretty well know it wasn't, and I'm sorry about that. I haven't found anything too bad, but if it was hacked, then I'm sorry about that. There's nothing I can do about it. It is what it is, folks. We fight for the truth, and that's it. Okay, let's start off with the financials again, because it's very important. Things are getting bad, going from bad to worse, and I'll prove it to you in a second. And it's funny because if you remember last week, I said to you about the price of how the American Reserve has put this dollar to silver ratio, and where's the gold dollar to gold ratio, and they've set it at $7,648 per ounce. Well, folks, if you're wondering why that is, that's because of the fact that there's a war going on at the moment, a monetary war. Now, this is a declaration of war to China, really, because China owns all the gold. And thanks for everyone who pointed out to me that AU means gold. I obviously failed alchemy at school. I never made it all the way through high school, so thanks for that. Like I said, China owns all the gold. So for China to set their gold now, they'd have to go above $7,648 an ounce, which they could do. But don't forget the American dollar is a reserve currency, and they can print it till the cows come home, and they are. So that's why that's like that, and also the silver. Currently, gold is at $13.50, and silver is at $21 an ounce, I believe, maybe 22. So yeah, it kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? Things are going from bad to worse on this end. We're heading up to 20 trillion flat out debt, and collateralized debt of about 240 trillion. So, folks, it can't be paid back. Simple as that. You're kidding yourself if you think it is. Right, let's go to the next one. This is the stock market. Interesting to note that they're bleeding it dry, folks. Bleeding it dry. It's just ridiculous. Yeah, as I said, folks, they're bleeding it dry. So look, at the end of the day, this isn't important. I should have gone back to the debt clock, which I will now. As I said to you, this is monumental, this currency and credit derivatives. And also, if you look down the bottom here, there's the figures just don't add up. You don't even have to be a mathematician to work that out, and I'm definitely not, folks. It's very bad, and it's getting worse all the time. This is ridiculous. This is sort of like 100,000 times more than the actual debt. It's just crazy, just crazy. And if you think that's crazy, Lehman Brothers went broke and caused, they didn't cause the financial crisis, but it was one of the things that didn't help. Well, on good old Zero Hedge, if you want to find out about good economic reporting, go to Zero Hedge. This is funny because this Prime Minister slams Deutsche Bank as Europe's most insolvent bank. Well, it actually is, and it's getting a lot worse. You can read it here if you want. This is their debt, 54.7 trillion, and that's conservative. Some people say it's 75. Whichever, it's a shitload, and it's getting worse. And the big problem is now is that they are actually collapsing. Every day their stocks go down, and they are now scrabbling for money, folks. So you've been warned. It is getting worse. I'll show you one last thing on the financial stuff. This is Greg Hunter at USA Watchdog. That's it there, USA Watchdog. Now, this interview here, Gerald Celente, and this one here, Greg Manarino, I would urge you all to go and watch these two and then take appropriate steps to fix up your personal finances to whatever you think needs to be done. We're at that time, folks, and it's here and it's now, and it's not going away, and it's going to get a lot worse very quickly. Okay? Okay. Let me get rid of these as I'm going. Now, this is interesting. If you think it's not that bad, Commonwealth Bank, during the Brexit, the Commonwealth Bank instantly shut down all trading in British pounds and didn't tell anybody. And they didn't warn their customers about it. So if you think that's bad, imagine what they're going to do to your credit cards and that when this really starts hitting the poo-poo hits the fan. You're going to be left with nowhere to go, and that's it. So this is the biggest financial bubble ever in the whole of monetary history, starting from day dot before Jesus. Do your own research. It's all there in black and white. You've only got to find out, folks. Don't get caught with your hand down your pants. Right, here we go. This is interesting. I got sent recently the UASG or USGS Geological Surveys website for their earthquakes, and I've taken an interest in it, and it's quite good. But I'll go out a bit. Just watch this. Does that look bad to anyone else? This is in the last 30 days. And I've actually got it set for 30 days, magnitude 2.5 plus worldwide. Now, you don't have to be Einstein to figure out that the majority of them are on the Ring of Fire. Just here. There's a few spattered over here, etc. But I tell you what, there's a lot more here than is being reported on the Australian one. The magnitude, I don't know. I'll leave it up to you guys to decide if they're lying or not. I don't really know. They probably are, for all I know. But I'm not going to scrimp or, about 1 or 2 magnitudes here or there. There's people that know better than me. But look how many are in the Ring of Fire. Look. Surprisingly, not much down here, but all here. Look at that. Jeez. That's incredible. This is all in the last 30 days. Go on it and have a look. It's a good site. And here we go. This is a good old Aussie one, the Aussie version. So here we are, folks. You can obviously see the difference when it says the world in the Australian one. We don't really care about the rest of the world. I will do one thing though, and I'll put it on the last 30 days. doesn't really define magnitude, but I can refine the search, but I won't bother. It's all a waste of time, really. Let's go Australian region. We've had some crackadoodle ones here. This is in the last 30 days. Although it's interesting to note that one we had last week, which was a 5.4, doesn't seem to be on there. Oh no, there it is, yep. 5.6, folks. Usually we just have one of those a year. So yeah, it's getting out of hand. It's becoming a lot more, especially in WA, Western Australia, where I come from. We're having them all the time now. All the time. Every week. At least a couple a week. Okay, and here you go. Here's the latest ones around the region. And they just go on and on and on and on. This last 30 days, folks. The only day that I noticed we didn't have one in Australia was the 6th. Yeah. So we're having them all the time. The Earth is moving badly. More than it was before. And as I said to you, mathematically, we're about 120% over where we're supposed to be for a whole year, for 6 months to the year, already in a 6-month period. So we're having, 120% more than we should be. Let's just go back to the world one there. Just watch this. There's one there that caught my eye, South America. See, there's another one. .3 on 11th of July. 19, the depth of 19 miles. Kilometers, sorry. 31 miles. And you've got to wonder about some of these ones in Western Australia. Look, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Well, that's in Northern Territory. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. All of them in Western Australia are 0. How can that be possible? How can that one, 5.6, be 0? They're all 0. Do you think someone's lying there, folks? Possibly. But let's not split hairs, eh? Okay, you're probably wondering why I'm showing you catch of the day. I thought I'd show you this as a prepping item, sorry. These watches are solar watches, and Casio and Citizen are probably better. They do a watch that can has no battery, and it runs on any sort of emitted light, whether it be cloud, sunny, whatever. They'll soak up light from a torch. Pretty well done, actually. And this will become crucial in times to come, if what people say is true, that you can't, everything will get fried. Well, I'd rather have a watch with no battery than a battery watch, if you know what I mean. So just keep an eye on those sort of things. Citizen do a good one. As I said, it's can suck up any sort of light. And here we are, the Access Pole Tilt for this month, or this week. We're all over the show like a drunk man, a drunk sailor on a boat or on dry land. It's getting worse, folks. I noticed here they've actually updated it to Tuesday and Saturday, so that's good. I'll start indicating that a bit more as well. They're doing a good job, these boys. Look how far out that's going. Which brings me on to the next point. Let's show you some freaky pictures. I don't know what that is. I think that's a can down the side of the... G'day folks. Right, here's some pictures for you to have a look at. Pretty confounding pictures, to be honest. They caught my attention for a couple of reasons, which I'll show you in a second. This is Rotorua, New Zealand, on the 11th of July 2016, 3:05 p.m. Right, as you can see, this is west, obviously from northwest, sorry. As you can see from the sun setting there. Now, what initially caught my eye was not only the way this was actually behaving here, behind this cloud, just in the singular motion of that, but also here, which I thought was kind of weird. If you notice, these aren't in line. So you see that one? See the orb there? The light refraction? Now, that one's in line with that one, but these here are not part of this. And that's what first caught my curiosity. I saw that and I thought, well, that's weird. So I thought I'd have a closer inspection of it. That's just an aeroplane, folks, don't freak out. Or a bird or something like that. Now, I'll go through these with you, as I said. Now, this is where it all started to go a little bit crazy for me. I have no idea what that is there, that big red orb. But as you can see, the clouds are behind it. And obviously this is happening here. The light refraction like that. But then, as I said to you, look at that. And that is offset from that. So these are not the same light. You can actually see that that's offset from that one. And they're all coming in a different angle. But if you look through, that meets that. I hope that makes sense. Try to get it all in the screen. So obviously that meets that, but that there is something different. I can't explain how a light refraction ends up in the middle of the sky behind clouds like that. It's actually not possible, just about. That's just bizarre. Now, this is interesting. See that there? When I was looking at it, I had to take these stills because it was on a with the New Zealand webcams, you have to actually film them right there and then, because they only save them for a day, if they save them at all. But what caught my attention with this one is if you just push the screen back just slightly, you'll notice that there's actually 3 in 1 here. So you got that one there, which is like a little star area. You've got obviously the big one. So let me shift this down a bit. You've got this one here, you know, the big orb. And if you look out the back, just there, it's actually got a massive big one that goes right round, and you can actually see it going all the way through. Can you see that? So just let me get this off here a bit more. I hope you can see all that. So that, to me, looked like a planet with a planet and another planet. But then if you go down here, Look, none of these align, and none of them are the same. See, once again, how does it go behind the cloud? That's physically impossible. But then also going behind the cloud, but still emitting light refractions. And it goes down with the sun. Look, it's actually going down with the sun. Okay, folks, well, sorry about that. Here we are again. Look, this is not normal. To all those people that write in and say that it's lens reflection or whatever you want to call it, I'll ask you this. What is it reflecting from? Tell me 100% give me 100% proof what it's reflecting from. Because this is a HD, and I need to point this out to everyone. This is a HD camera. So it's high definition. It even tells you, snap it, HD. Yeah, obviously doesn't mean it doesn't get lens refraction. But how is it possible to get the lens reflection off there, behind the cloud, moving over it, and it's also setting with the sun, which is just about near on impossible as far as I know. Now, if that was lens reflection, it would actually be going the other way. It's actually setting with the sun. So, you know, it's gone. But what are these here? Can you see those? Oh, I can't expand it any more than that. Yes, I can. What am I talking about? Whoop. Where are we? Sorry, guys and girls. You know, there's a couple of areas in this where you'd actually think that you can definitely see some other planets in there. Or, sorry, I shouldn't say planets. Objects, anomalies in these pictures. Now, you might go on there today and you might find this again. As I was saying, you can go on some of these and you can actually see some anomalies there. You know, I'll leave it up to you guys to chase them up. It may still be there, but look, it's not normal. I have no idea what it is, except to say that, in my personal opinion, and I'm not an expert, but that is a standalone item on its own that is here somewhere behind the sun, or it's actually there on its own and it's actually manifested as that. You know, look, like I said to you, you can actually see that object there. It's a standalone object on that one, as I pointed out to you. Look, so you've got 3 definite orbs there, and they're not small. Like, that's the sun. That's the size of that. So how can you have a refraction that's the same size? It's just not physically possible. Look, there's the sun, or what we all think is the sun these days, and that's the object. It's almost as big as this. It's like that big. Look. So it's just not physically possible, folks. And as I said, any doubt about it not being there or being a light refraction is this. It actually goes down with the sun. And as I said to you, you can still see the third one around it. And, you know, that's, like I said, show me 100% proof how it does that, how a light refraction can do that, because I haven't seen one yet that does it. It's just not possible. And like I said to you, these were all offset. Look, not one of them travels. Those ones are okay. Those are offset from that. I think this is the best one. Now look. Or was it this one? Sorry. No, it's the second one. You know, I think I've got two pages of these. Yeah, I have. That was the first one, 155. So that shows you exactly how it came through. And I wasn't really paying attention to it to start with. And as I said, it was, look at these, look, just there. There's 3 anomalies there. They're not clouds, by the way. You notice the difference in the clouds to the anomalies? Notice the difference around here, the pink. Sorry, which one? See that one? Look, see those? Clouds covered it, they're gone. Look at that. Remember folks, these are in HD, high definition. And this was the one, sorry, I said to you before about this one. This was the one that got my attention because it was earlier on, it was 2 o'clock if I remember, 2:55. This was the one that caught my attention because I was only paying attention to the top here because I clicked on it and it came up like that. And I thought, well, there's not much to see there. But then I just noticed that out of the corner of my eye, and I went down, and then I noticed that, which on its own is a little bit weird, considering that there's full cloud cover. It's hard to see now, isn't it? Does that look weird to anyone else? Looks like a light refraction, I'll agree, but it just doesn't look right. All right, folks. Well, that's that part taken care of. I think I've gone through enough with you today. As I said, I keep promising to do the prepping stuff with you. I will do that. Sorry about all the stuff that's gone on in between. No email, no internet, going away for weddings, etc., etc. I'll get right on top of everything again now. But you know, look, the thing that worries me the most is that those pictures that I just showed you, you know, things are getting closer and things are getting more extreme. And I believe that you're in the northern hemisphere now. You're experiencing the southern hemisphere summer that we had, and it was horrendous, absolutely horrendous. So I hope you realise now I wasn't joking. It's bad. You know, it's going to get a lot worse. You haven't even gone through. I don't think you've gone through half of it yet. So good luck. You know, we're having this southern hemisphere now is experiencing the coldest winter we've had in years and years. And I just want to correct someone about something as well. It does snow in Australia. It does. We've got actually very big snowfields here, just so everyone understands that, in the highlands of Victoria and New South Wales. We do actually have reportedly the longest ski runs in the world, because we don't have mountains, we just have hills. So you can go over every hill and go down the next one, etc. So just want to relay that to everyone. We do have snow. It's not an unusual occurrence in winter. It's just that we don't usually get 400 millimeters in one night. what we have been getting. And it's been snowing today and over east. And we even had frost here this morning in Perth, which is a real rarity. Only for a couple of minutes, but it was gone after that. But it's been cold, that's for sure, folks. All right, let's finish off the Lord's Prayer. I get a lot of flack for this Lord's Prayer. I don't know why. The reason I say the Lord's Prayer, I couldn't figure out how I was going to explain it, but this here explains to me how I feel about the Lord's Prayer. The Lord's Prayer contains the sum total of religion and morals. Wellington. That's why I say the Lord's Prayer, folks. If you read the actual words, or you take note of the words, it pretty well sums it up. So let's go. The Lord's Prayer. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. I'll leave it there, folks. I hope you have a good week till the next post, or whenever I post next. Love your comments, etc. Keep them coming. Heads up to the skies. Prep like crazy, folks, because I think you're going to need to, honestly. The financial thing's coming to a crash. Everything's coming to a crash. It's all coming to... the train's come off the track and it's running through a cornfield, and there's only a cliff at the end. So get ready. God bless to you all. Prep out. G'day everyone, Prep Aussie here. I hope you're well. In whatever part of the world you're watching from. Sorry I haven't been around for a while. I've actually been doing a few things, or life took hold of a few things at the moment, so went to a wedding, etc. So I had a good time. Okay, let's move on. Lots to go through. A couple of things to acknowledge first on my site. Religion. Please don't preach on my thing. I'll take you off if you start preaching. Although I allow everyone to have their religious views, don't preach. And also, for anyone who wants to denigrate people for their religion, they'll be banned off my site as well. And lastly, don't swear. If you want to use swear words, and if you've got a stupid name for your moniker for your site, I'll just cut you straight away. If you're wondering why you can't see yourself, it's probably because you've been banned. Okay. Also, I'm having lots of problems with my internet, and more than is normal. And I've also realised recently that I was hacked. So if you're getting information from me, I've only been on the site once, maybe twice in the last couple of weeks. So if you've ever received anything from me, you should know how I speak and what I say to everyone. Salutations, etc. So if it wasn't me, you pretty well know it wasn't. And I'm sorry about that. I haven't found anything too bad, but if it was hacked, then I'm sorry about that. There's nothing I can do about it. It is what it is, folks. We fight for the truth, and that's it. Okay, let's start off with the financials again, because it's very important. Things are getting bad, going from bad to worse, and I'll prove it to you in a second. And it's funny because if you remember last week, I said to you about the price of how the American Reserve has put this dollar to silver ratio, and where's the dollar to gold ratio, and they've set it at $7,648 per ounce. Well, folks, if you're wondering why that is, that's because of the fact that there's a war going on at the moment, a monetary war. Now, this is a declaration of war to China, really, because China owns all the gold. And thanks for everyone who pointed out to me that AU means gold. I obviously failed alchemy at school. I never made it all the way through high school, so thanks for that. Like I said, China owns all the gold. So for China to set their gold now, they'd have to go above $7,648 an ounce, which they could do. But don't forget American dollar is the reserve currency, and they can print it till cows come home, and they are. So that's why that's like that, and also the silver. Currently, gold is at $13.50, and silver is at $21 an ounce, I believe, maybe 22. So yeah, it kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? Things are going from bad to worse on this end. We're heading up to 20 trillion flat out debt and collateralized debt of about 240 trillion. So, folks, it can't be paid back. Simple as that. You're kidding yourself if you think it is. Right, let's go to the next one. This is the stock market. Interesting to note that they're bleeding it dry, folks. Bleeding it dry. It's just ridiculous. Yeah, as I said, folks, they're bleeding it dry. So look, at the end of the day, this isn't important. I should have gone back to the debt clock, which I will now. As I said to you, this is monumental. This currency and credit derivatives, and also, if you look down the bottom here, there's the figures just don't add up. You don't even have to be a mathematician to work that out, and I'm definitely not, folks. It's very bad, and it's getting worse all the time. You know.